Hello, I'm Lee Kreider, producer of the OhioRAAM show. I'm working on show number 270 right now. Evan Stievenart, who last year, along with his partner, set the two-person record for the Race Across America. And Evans is going to be racing in the Race Across America as a soloist in 2020. And we're happy to have Becky hosting the show. But before we start it, let's just remind you that this show is a product of the time stations in Ohio, the Race Across America time stations, 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43 in Chillicothe. Also, be sure to check the show notes, which you see below the video. If you're watching the show on the OhioRAAMshow.com website, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a link to this site right in your description box below the video. And if you'd like to see a full-size version of the show, just put your tap down there in that corner and you'll see an expansion box pop up. With that, let's get on with the show.
Hi Evans, welcome to the OhioRAAM show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm recovering from a motorcycle crash I got a couple of days ago, but I'm okay. It could have been worse. Yeah.
What happened in your motorcycle crash?
I live in LA, and I found that the traffic was terrible, so I got the idea of getting a motorcycle to avoid it. But actually, it's not safe at all, and something that I could not avoid, like a car came just ahead of me, and I could not avoid it. The car came from nowhere, so I could not avoid it, and I hit the ground. I landed on the back, and I got a couple of bones broken in the back.
Oh, geez. So you're just resting right now?
I'm not very good at resting, so the doctor said that it will take me like 6 weeks to think about getting back on the bike. And the day after the hospital, I was already on the trainer trying to keep moving. So actually, I have a good recovery.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into bicycling.
So I'm a former race car driver. It's how I started my racing career. And as everyone who does racing in the car industry, you want to be light, and you don't want. And I'm kind of tall, and I didn't have a good eating habits at that time, so I needed to lose weight. And I found out that cycling was a good idea to do that, and I completely fell in love with the sport. And
so when was this?
I was about 22, 23 years of age. Okay. I was already passionate by the sport when I was younger. Okay. But around 16, when I really started my career as a race car driver, I really, I didn't think about cycling at all in that period. But when I got back to it, it was like kind of, okay, this is my real passion. So racing cars will be my job, and let's have cycling as a passion.
Yeah. So when did you get into ultra cycling?
I started in 2016, and it was kind of a joke at the very beginning because, I don't know if you are familiar with the race, but there is a 24 hours of Le Mans, which is kind of the biggest race car event in the world. And there is also like a cycling version of it. And I never won this 24 hours of Le Mans in the cars, but as a joke, I said maybe I can win it with a bike, and so I went for the solo version, and it was crazy. I didn't even know that people could ride 24 hours on the bike nonstop. I didn't, and I said, hey, let's try. Why not? And I did it, and I won the first time. So I kind of, okay, wow, that's insane. It's wow. my first 24 hours event. I won it, and I won it with like something with 540 miles. Wow. So it was like a huge like something big for me, like a revelation. Like, okay, I'm kind of good at it.
Wow. So then from 2016, you kept doing these 24-hour races then?
Yeah, you know, when you win the first event you do, you kind of get a lot of. First of all, I'm French, so I have a lot. I'm kind of arrogant already, you know. Like we, plus the winning, I said, okay, I can win any event now. You know, I kind of got very, like very proud of myself, and so okay, I'm gonna do everything. And then I looked at the calendar, and a couple of weeks later, there was a Borrego Springs 24 hours World Championship. And I said, oh, I will do that and I will win that one too. And it's where I started to realize that ultra cycling was very, very specific. And actually, I didn't win that one at all. I had to stop after about 10, 12 hours because of knee issues. But
Oh.
beside it, I was also like struggling a lot with the pace because there was a guy named Christoph Strasser. I'm sure you heard about him.
Yes, yes.
And I wanted to, of course, since I wanted to win, and to be quite honest, I didn't know at all about him. I didn't know anything about
Mm.
ultra cycling, and I checked online who he was, and I saw that he was winning like RAM, and I
Mhm.
didn't know RAM very much neither. And I said, okay, that guy does like 6 days, 7 days races in 24 hours. He should be slow. And
Mhm.
I started to fight against him, and actually I realized that how good he was and how demanding was the sport. So I took a step back, and I kind of learned everything about ultra cycling, get more educated about the sports and how to train and how to eat and how to rest. And so it's where I started to really again get educated about the sports. So in 2017, I competed again. I did the 24 hours of Le Mans again.
Okay.
I won again, and I did that time, I think, 593 miles over the course of 24 hours. So it was huge. And I went to Borrego again. And I think Borrego is not a good course for me. Plus, it's very different with the 24 hours of Le Mans because 24 hours of Le Mans happens on the road bike. And of course, in Borrego, you want to be on the TT bike to do the
Mm.
most mileage. And I was not ready with back, neck issues. And so I had to stop after 12 hours again. And so I decided to really change my training and to spend more time on my TT bike. And in 2018, it was a busy year for me in my racing career for cars. So I just did the 12 hours of Borrego. It was kind of my only event, and I was really focused on 2019.
Okay.
So and 2019 so far has been my best season ever.
Yeah. Now you did Sebring in the spring or winter
Yeah,
time,
in
right?
yeah February, very
Yeah,
beginning of
yeah,
the
yeah,
year. Yeah,
yeah. And how did that go?
very well, very well. So I was kind of worried because my first two experiences with 24 hours on the TT bike didn't go well with Borrego. I was worried, but I spent much more time on my TT bike. I was much more like focused on that specific effort. I also manage my effort better because I'm very competitive, and my weakness, I would say, it's to always try to start very fast and to get a big gap with my opponents. And I didn't do that in Sebring. I was pacing myself much better, and it did well because I won the race and I did the course record,
Hmm.
and which was about 540 miles or something like that. So it was a huge performance for me on the TT bike, and I was very happy with that. Since we did with my partner Jean-Luc Perez, we did RAM in the category two-man team in 2019, so a couple of weeks ago,
Oh,
and we won it, and we did beat the race record as well in 6 days, 11 hours, and something.
how did what was the name of your team and tell me a
Uh,
little bit about that.
so our team was named Eat Well.
Eat well. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is something I do care a lot. I mean, I'm very, very focused on my diet. Again, when I was younger, I was not overweighted, but I was not in a great shape neither. So I started to really learn how to eat better and to sleep better. And now it's kind of my main strength. It's kind of crazy, but you need to educate the young generation how to select the products and to avoid the marketing and to select the products because they are good for you. With my teammate, long story short, my teammate is my best friend, so that's a
That helps.
blessing. Yeah, that helps a lot. But when he arrived, because he lives in France, when he arrived in the US, the Tuesday before the race, I saw him and I saw that something was wrong is in the way to walk. And I said, what's
Oh.
going on? And I said, oh, he said, no, that's okay, just a flight. And a couple of hours later, we went at the pool just to help him to recover from the flight. And I saw like a lot of scratches on his leg, and obviously he crashed. And so we took each hour from that point to the start of the race in order to help him to recover. And the day we started, he was okay. And we started with a very strong headwind. So right away, we were ahead of the other competitors, but we were kind of far behind from the record. But we kept pushing. We did like an amazing strategy for the relays and everything. And basically, 24 hours before the end of the race, we were closing the gap to the record. And actually 6 hours, before the end of the race, for the first time, we started to be ahead of the record.
Wow.
So it was kind of like a Hollywood movie, like Hollywood scenario, where you are kind of behind all the time, and in the last stretch, you are making it up. And so we started to be ahead, and so it gave us a lot of motivation, and we finished the race as a sprint, and so we won the race and we beat the record. I don't want to overrate myself, but I'm kind of lucky because I think I have something for that sport. I'm kind of blessed. It's kind of not easy for me, but I see a lot of people doing it for years and they don't have the same result that I have. So, and again, it's not being arrogant to tell it, but it's just I want to see where I can go, So 2020, I should be on the starting line for OhioRAAM solo. Yeah.
Okay. So, Evans, how old are you?
I thought we were not asking those questions.
Well, you look very young, so I was kind of like.
No, I'm turning 37 in January, so I'm gonna be 37 in January. So yeah, it's still young for the sport, but for ultra cycling, it's not too old. What I'm getting better at now is that I'm better at pacing myself. And nutrition and sleep management and time management. I have learned a lot during OhioRAAM 2019 in the two-man version.
Has all this bicycling helped with your car racing at all?
I would say yes. First of all, I'm getting lighter,
Yeah.
which is always a good idea. But yeah, no, definitely in terms of I'm kind of cooler, right? It's like I'm just you get all the riding gets you, like, you have no issues, right? If your only issue is to get ready for a race, your life is amazing, right? So I have a better mindset. That's definitely, just I'm racing cars. It's very stressful, and doing cycling gives me a lot of relief from the stress, and I'm just a better person, I think.
Yeah. So RAM doesn't stress you out at all?
I mean, again, if your only stress in life is about doing RAM, your life is amazing.
Yes, it is.
It means you are in a good health. You have a good crew that supports you. I mean, what could happen to you, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
I see the life like that. It's like, yes, we suffer on the bike, but we are paying for it. So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
and there is people on that earth who do struggle for real, and so yeah, you it doesn't stress me at all. It's actually the opposite.
Yeah, that's good. So will you also work with Eat Well or use that charity as well?
Yeah, I think we are gonna keep the same structure around, like trying to
Okay.
spread awareness about how to eat better, especially again for the young generation. I'm not a nutritionist, neither a doctor, and so my message is very simple.
Mhm.
And that's the beauty of that for kids, especially, it's because yeah, it's not rocket science. It's just very very simple advices on how to read a label, how to know if a product is good for you or not, and it just at the end what we do is we help the kids to find the good products in the supermarket.
What was your favorite food on RAM?
So we are very lucky because we've got like a nutrition brand that was supporting us,
Ah,
and they have the best bars around.
hmm,
And I'm not telling that because we are supporting us. It's because it's true. Their bars are amazing. The brand is attacked, and they do like very very good bars with like nuts and dates and a couple of like
okay.
chocolates and sea salt. It's very simple, just 5 ingredients,
Yeah.
and I love that a lot. And then I was going with also like a lot of rice, a lot of bananas, and a lot of peanut butter.
Evans, it seems like you have all the tools and ready to do RAM solo.
I'll see. I think the sleep management will be it's gonna be the first for me, but I will work on it for sure.
Yeah. So do you have a goal for how you want to do in RAM
I
solo?
want I want to finish, of course, but I want to win it. Yeah. If Christoph Strasser is there, it's gonna be very difficult because I know the guy and he's very very hard to beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing is impossible. So I'm going for the best result as possible.
Anyway, well, I want to wish you all the luck in next year, and please, Evans, keep in touch. Let us know how training's going, and we will talk to you real soon.
Okay, thank you very much. I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Evans, for being on the show. Thanks, Becky, again for hosting it. And we want to thank all of you who watch the show, especially those of you who support the show on the social media. On the website, you'll see links where you can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you'd like to have email notices of the next show, just go to the box there, enter your email. It won't be used for anything else. And with that, until we see you the next time, goodbye.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.